Think you have to go to the zoo to see pandas? Think again. If you're in London, they may be closer than you imagine. Over 108 of the world's most famous bears piled into Trafalgar Square to mark the exact number of the real animals at the Chengdu Panda Base in China, one of the world's most important conservation centres. The bears began with a relaxing Tai Chi routine, before heading on for a panda party at Covent Garden and a tour of local primary schools. The stunt is to raise the profile of Panda Awareness Week, and these guys certainly got noticed.
London was chosen for the launch of Panda Awareness Week because of the Olympics. You know, the last one was in Beijing. The Olympic torch was brought here to London. You know, in only 24 days' time, the Olympics will start. So it's a great connection between the two countries.
These days, tourists are a common sight in London, especially on the Tube and in the city's historical hotspots. But one group of visitors from China stood out more than most. 108 pandas took to the Underground and Covent Garden for Panda Awareness Week and to raise awareness of the Chengdu Panda Base, a major conservation centre which houses, well, 108 pandas. Not quite the teddy bear's picnic, these furry visitors braved the rain for Tai Chi in Trafalgar Square, before heading off into the wilderness of London, bypassing Chinatown for the quintessentially British pursuits of window shopping. And commuting.
I am calling in for John Nicely this morning. A mysterious illness is getting national attention this week. It's called pandas and can leave children with annoying, even disabling tics and jerks. You see them in this girl in our video. While you may never have heard of pandas, that's not the case for Lori Suthar of Chesterfield. She treated her son for the condition and has written a book about her experience. News Corp's Mark Cox spoke with her earlier this week.
These families tell a frightening tale of kids out of control at times and with uncontrolled body movements. Now they believe they found a treatment for this, but it's one that very few local doctors agree with.
As soon as we saw the tics, everybody was wondering if it was cancer.
Lori Suthar has been watching the mystery in New York unfold. She recognized the symptoms from her own son, Joshua, who was affected at age 6.
Basically, a child gets a strep infection, and those antibodies the child creates to fight the strep attack the brain and cause tics, obsessive compulsive behavior, attention deficit, anxiety, rage, and anorexia.
Today, 3 other parents joined her in her Chesterfield home. They all talked about their frustrations in getting a panda's diagnosis. It's not an illness that affects most people. The victims all have some underlying immune problem. Like Suthar, their kids have been treated, they say, effectively with antibiotics.
It's happening. He doesn't have hallucinations. He doesn't have tics that prevent him from making social relationships. you know, he can study, he can learn things, whereas before he just had a really difficult time.
But most of these families had to leave St. Louis to get treatment. Dr. Brad Schlager says that's because the diagnosis is very rare and most patients don't meet the requirements.
About 1% of the patients that I saw met the criteria. And we would be the sort of place that would see patients that had kind of aggressive, difficult to control tics.
It's a controversy that's been raging since 1998 when Pandas was first diagnosed. In St. Louis, Mark Cox, News 4.
Well, joining us now to talk more about this unusual condition is Lori Suthar. We just saw her in the package there. The book she wrote about her experience is called Joshua's Missing Piece. Lori, thank you so much for being with us this morning. First, let's start off talking about your son right here.
It's www.joshua. It actually started at about age 4. We started noticing some obsessive compulsive behavior about our story. There's a letter attention deficit problem, husband, and also from Josh. Kind of a really bad temper on the rage issues also.
And as a mother, as a parent, you are going to try to do everything you can to help your son. So at first, what did you think was the problem?
Well, we thought he just had attention deficit disorder, and so, you know, we went to a neurologist and he said, no, that's not it, but he told us there's obsessive behavior there, and he's going to be on medicine by the time he's 12. And very quickly, within about 6 months, things just kind of spiraled out of control. The tics became way more pronounced. He became more obsessive. He began not sleeping at one point in it, and so we did everything we could to get him help. We saw a psychiatrist who prescribed psychiatric medications for him, and you know, some things got better, but on the whole, month by month, it just got worse and worse.
And as he's having these behaviors and the other effects of this, you know, is he not going to school? Is he not being able to play with friends? And he,
Absolutely.
Stay at home a lot.
Yeah, we were not able to send him to school. We couldn't even really go to a restaurant. We had to take 2 cars because if he got upset, one of us would have to take him home and the other would have to stay. He didn't sleep. At night he would be up all night long. He may sleep 2 to 3 hours a day. And he didn't eat. He weighed about 36 pounds at age 6.
Wow.